Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating and detailed history of the Philippine 25 centimo coin from 1979, though small in denomination. This coin reflects a remarkable chapter in the Philippines' economic, political, and cultural story. With 30 paragraphs ahead, you'll see how this coin is more than just loose. Change it as a piece of history that continues to spark curiosity and nostalgia. The 1979-5 Sentimo coin was part of the Bagong Lipunan coin series introduced during the regime of President Ferdinand Marcos. These coins carried not only monetary value but also political symbolism, reinforcing the image of the so-called new society. The Bagong Lipunan slogan printed on the coin was more than just words. It was part of a nationwide campaign to project discipline, order, and national pride under martial law. Every Filipino who held the coin saw this daily reminder. The obverse of the 1979-25 Sentimo featured the image of Juan Luna, one of the greatest Filipino painters and a national hero. He is best remembered for his masterpiece Spoliarium, which won international acclaim. Luna's inclusion on the coin symbolized not only artistic genius, but also patriotism. He was an active participant in the Philippine Revolution, showing that heroes come not only from the battlefield, but also from culture and the arts. The reverse side of the coin displayed the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines, along with Republika ng Pilipinas and the year of minting, 1979. This design tied the coin to the nation's identity. Made of copper nickel, the 25 centimo coin had a silvery appearance. Its composition gave it durability and a pleasant shine that distinguished it from the smaller aluminum coins in circulation. The coin had a diameter of 20 millimeters and was slightly heavier than the 10 and 5 centimo pieces. This size made it practical for everyday transactions. In 1979, the Philippine economy was struggling, but the 25 centimo coin still had purchasing power. You could use it to buy small snacks, pay part of jeepney fares, or purchase household necessities. Children of that time fondly remember 25 centimo coins as part of their allowance. Many recall the excitement of saving enough to buy ice, drops, candies, or comic books. The 1979 issue carried a sense of optimism as it was minted during the height of Marcos' campaign to present the Philippines as a strong and orderly nation. Coins became carriers of this vision. The phrase Bagong Lipunan was not just political rhetoric but a branding strategy. By printing it on coins, Marcos tied his legacy to something that touched every Filipino's hands daily. For collectors today, the 1979-5 Sentimo is a highly symbolic coin. Its historical context, combined with the portrait of Luna, makes it a centerpiece in Philippine numismatic collections. Juan Luna's presence on the coin also elevated Filipino artistry. His contributions to nationalism were preserved in everyday currency, reminding Filipinos of the role of art in the struggle for independence. The 25 centimo coin was a middle value coin, bridging the smaller denominations with larger ones like the 50 centimo and peso. It played a critical role in maintaining balance in small daily transactions. Its wide circulation meant that millions of Filipinos carried the coin daily. Yet, despite its ubiquity, many did not realize the deep political and cultural stories behind its design. The 1979 coin was minted during a time of rapid inflation, which would later reduce the coin's purchasing power. However, in its prime, it had real value in daily commerce. In the international context, coinage design was a powerful tool of state propaganda. Countries often used their coins to showcase leaders, heroes, or slogans. The Philippines was no different. In 1979, the choice of Luna as the face of the 25 centimo also balanced political propaganda with cultural pride. It softened the strong political messaging with the beauty of art and history. Because of its copper-nickel composition, the coin was more durable than its aluminum counterparts. Many examples from 1979 survive today in good condition, making them accessible to collectors. Still, uncirculated or mint-condition coins are rare, and those can fetch higher prices in numismatic markets due to their preserved state. For ordinary Filipinos, the 25 centimo was not about politics or history. It was a practical tool that made life easier. Whether at the market, the bakery, or on public transport, many households collected coins in jars or piggy banks, and the 25 centimo was often one of the most common coins saved. Its mid-level value made it both spendable and savable. As years passed, inflation reduced its role in daily life. What could once buy a small snack eventually became nearly insignificant in value. By the mid-1980s, changes in coin design were introduced, and the Flora and Fauna series replaced the Bagong Lipunan coins. This made the 1979 issue part of a completed historical chapter. Collectors today look at the 1979 25 Sentimo as a time capsule. It reflects the optimism, struggles, and politics of a turbulent era in Philippine history. The coin serves as a conversation piece. Its design, size, and symbolism all combine to tell a story beyond economics, reaching into culture and identity. Juan Luna's portrait on the coin reminds Filipinos of the importance of art in nation-building. His works continue to inspire, and his face on currency immortalized his contributions. For historians, the 1979-5 Sentimo provides evidence of how governments use everyday objects like money to shape national consciousness. For nostalgic Filipinos, it is a reminder of childhood days when a few coins in their pockets meant happiness and freedom. Coins World. Today we are diving into the fascinating history of one of the smallest, yet historically rich coins in Philippine currency, the 10 Sentimo coin from 1970. Don't underestimate its size, because behind this little coin lies a story of heritage, culture, politics, and national identity. The 1970s marked a significant decade for the Philippines. Under President Ferdinand Marcos, the country was undergoing massive political and economic changes. Coins minted during this era reflect not just monetary value but also the national narrative that was being carefully shaped. The 10 Sentimo 1970 is a perfect example of this. The coin itself belongs to the Pilipino Series, which was introduced in 1967. This series replaced the English series that had been circulating since the 1950s. The switch from English inscriptions to the Filipino language symbolized a growing sense of national pride and independence. On the obverse of the 1970 10 Sentimo, we see the figure of Apolinario Mabini, one of the most revered heroes of the Philippines, known as the brains of the revolution. Mabini's inclusion on the coin highlighted his role in shaping the country's fight for independence. His image was chosen to inspire patriotism and remind Filipinos of their revolutionary roots. The reverse of the coin featured the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines. This seal embodied sovereignty, unity, and governance, important themes in the years leading up to the declaration of martial law in 1972. The coin, therefore, was not just money, but also a subtle message of national identity. The material of the 10 Sentimo 1970 coin was brass, giving it a golden color that set it apart from other small denominations. It was small, lightweight, and practical for daily use, especially during a time when public transportation, street vendors, and small-scale trade flourished. Its diameter was around 17 millimeters, making it one of the smallest coins in circulation at the time. Many Filipinos remember carrying several of these coins in their pockets to buy candies, newspapers, or even a ride in a jeepney. But beyond its everyday utility, the coin had symbolic significance. By honoring Mabini, the government reinforced the idea that heroes of the past should guide the decisions of the present and the future. Collectors today value the 10 Sentimo 1970, not just for its monetary worth but for the historical context it represents. It tells the story of a nation, asserting its cultural identity through language and design. The 1970s also saw economic challenges, with inflation and rising costs. Coins like the 10 Sentimo gradually lost much of their purchasing power, yet they remained an essential part of the economy, because small change kept the circulation system alive. Over the years, these coins were used so frequently that many are now found in heavily worn conditions. Finding a 1970 10 Sentimo in uncirculated or mint. Another fascinating aspect is how the Pilipino Series reflected language policy changes. During this period, there was a strong push to promote Filipino as the national language. Coins became one of the most effective tools to spread this message, because they were in everyone's hands. The 10 Sentimo 1970 is also remembered for its durability. Despite its brass composition, many of these coins still survive today, often with a unique patina that reflects decades of circulation. For numismatists, studying this coin provides a window into the Philippine minting practices of the time. It shows the transition from colonial influences to a distinctly Filipino identity. In terms of rarity, While millions were minted, the value today depends on condition. Circulated coins may fetch only a few pesos, but uncirculated ones are far more desirable. Some collectors even pay premium prices if the coin has unique minting errors. Error coins such as misstrikes, off-center strikes, or doubled dies are particularly valuable. They serve as reminders that even in mass production, small mistakes can turn ordinary coins into collectibles. The coin also plays a role in family history. Many Filipinos, who grew up in the 1970s and 1980s, have nostalgic memories of using the 10 centimo. Holding one today often brings back those memories of simpler times. In auctions and online platforms, 1970 10 centimo coins sometimes appear, usually in sets with other denominations from the same year. Collectors love complete sets because they represent a full snapshot of the era. Interestingly, this coin has also been used in educational displays in museums across the Philippines. It serves as a tangible link to the country's heritage and currency evolution. From a design standpoint, the coin is simple but effective. Mabini's profile is rendered with clarity, and the national seal adds an official touch. The use of brass gave the coin a distinct look compared to silver-colored denominations. The 10 centimo 1970 is also a reminder of how small coins once had significant value. Back then, 10 centimo could buy small essentials. Today, it serves as a memory of purchasing power lost to inflation. Coin enthusiasts often describe this denomination as humble yet historic. It may not carry the same prestige as higher denominations, but it is equally important in completing the story of Philippine coinage. Some Filipinos have kept these coins as lucky charms or keepsakes, believing they carry the energy of a bygone era. For families, passing down these coins is like passing down a piece of history. As time passes, the 197010 centimo is becoming harder to find in good condition. This scarcity fuels collector interest, especially among those building historical sets of Philippine coins. It's worth noting that the transition from the English series to the Pilipino series was a landmark event. Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the Philippine 25 centimo coin from the year 1994. This small but mighty coin has a history that stretches far beyond its face value, and by the time we reach the end of this journey, you will be amazed at how much significance and charm is hidden within this piece of Philippine numismatic heritage. The 25 centimo coin of 1994 belongs to the Flora and Fauna series, which was introduced by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas in 1983. This series was designed not just for daily transactions but also to reflect the natural beauty and biodiversity of the Philippines, along with honoring its national heroes. The combination of these themes made the coins both functional and symbolic, giving Filipinos a sense of pride whenever they held them. On the obverse of the 1994 25 centimo coin, we see the portrait of Juan Luna, one of the most celebrated Filipino painters, political activists, and revolutionaries of the 19th century. Luna's artwork and contributions to the independence movement gave him a permanent place in the history of the Philippines. His image on the coin serves as a reminder of the power of creativity and patriotism. The reverse side of the coin features a Philippine orchid, specifically the wailing Arvanda sanderiana, one of the most treasured and beautiful native flowers of the country. This choice of design connects the coin to the nation's rich biodiversity, symbolizing both natural beauty and the resilience of the Philippine environment. Minted in brass, the coin carries a golden hue that made it visually appealing and distinct among the other denominations. Its size and color allowed it to stand out, making it easier for Filipinos to identify it in daily commerce, especially in markets and public transportation where small change was often needed. 1994. The Philippines was transitioning through significant economic reforms, and coins like the 25 centimo played a vital role in everyday exchanges. For ordinary citizens, these coins were essential in buying bus fares, candies, and small household items. Though its value was small, its circulation was widespread, touching the daily lives of millions. The coin also tells a story of artistry. The portrait of Juan Luna was carefully engraved to capture not just his face but his character. Likewise, the orchid on the reverse was crafted with fine detail, showcasing petals and natural beauty in a way that elevated the coin beyond its monetary worth. Over the years, the 25 centimo coins of this series became common in Filipino households. Children often collected them in piggy banks, and many grew up with fond memories of saving these coins to buy small treats. For older generations, the coin became a nostalgic symbol of the 1990s. Digital collections. The 25 Sentimo 1994 serves as a milestone in completing a full flora and fauna set. Focusing on the Philippine 10 Sentimo 1972, it's written with a strong historical, storytelling style, engaging detail, and flow that will keep your listeners deeply interested today. We will journey back to 1972 and explore the history of a small, yet powerful coin, the Philippine 10 Sentimo. Though tiny in size, this coin carries immense weight in terms of history, symbolism, and memory. The year 1972 is forever etched in Philippine history. It was the year when President Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law, reshaping the entire political, economic, and social fabric of the country. And right in the middle of these massive changes came the introduction of new currency, including the 10 Sentimo coin. This coin belonged to the Bagong Lipunan series, literally translated as the New Society. The Marcos administration introduced this series to symbolize a fresh beginning, a disciplined nation, and a unified society under its rule. Every coin, including the 10 Sentimo, became part of the government's vision and messaging. On the obverse of the 10 Sentimo 1972, you will find the portrait of Francisco Baltazar, the revered Filipino poet often hailed as the Shakespeare of the Philippines. Balagtas was chosen for his contributions to Filipino literature, especially his masterpiece Florondia at Laura, which emphasized themes of love, justice, and resilience. Balagtas on the coin symbolized national pride and cultural heritage. His inclusion wasn't random. It was a deliberate choice to remind Filipinos of their literary and cultural roots even as the government was ushering in political transformation. The reverse of the coin featured the seal of the Republika of the Philippines along with the denomination. But what made this series distinct was the inscription of the words, Bagong Lipunan. This phrase wasn't just a slogan, it was a declaration of the Marcos government's ideology and vision for the nation. The 10 Sentimo 1972 was minted in aluminum bronze, giving it a golden hue. Small, lightweight, and easy to carry, it was intended for daily circulation. Back then, 10 Sentimo still had value. You could buy candies, snacks, and other small goods. Though the coin was used in everyday life, it was far more than just money. It was a political symbol. By carrying this coin, every Filipino, knowingly or unknowingly, carried a piece of the government's narrative in their pockets. The phrase Bagong Lipunan was meant to reinforce order and unity. For Marcos, it was propaganda, but for ordinary Filipinos,